I invented Post-its. 4 words, zero consequences, maximum confidence. Today we're talking bad lies, top tier outfits, the A group, and why sometimes you don't need brains or beauty, just one ride or die best friend and the audacity to commit. Welcome to the No More Late Fees podcast. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Jackie, and we're just two best friends and ex-Blockbuster employees rewatching some of the best and worst movies from the late 90s and early 2000s. This week, we're getting nostalgic about Romy and Michele's high school reunion, the 1997 cult classic that feels like a hug, a lie, and a confidence boost all at once. But before we dive in, let's get into some housekeeping. If you love the podcast and you want to support us, here are a few ways that
you can buy us a coffee on Ko-fi. Every contribution helps us keep the Blockbuster vibes alive. So head to ko-fi.com/no more late fees.
And because every great reunion needs a ride or die, Gwen is back with us, here to celebrate best friend chaos, bad lies, great outfits, and the timeless truth that sometimes you really do just make up your own success story. Welcome back, Gwen.
Welcome.
Hi.
2026 is your year, Gwen.
2026 and Gwen is here.
I love that. Record that, tape it, release
welcome. It's my new demo. That's it.
That's it.
That's your new intro song on the show.
Yep.
100%. If you want to learn more about Gwen, check out her previous episodes of She's All That, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, Bridget Jones's Diary, and Mean Girls. That's right. Our girl is here for 6. So excited.
That's
Plus
not one,
you
not 2, not 3.
You have to do it in the count voice from Sesame Street.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I do that voice all day too.
All day.
It's my daughter's favorite thing ever.
She's got great taste.
Yes.
Yeah.
Plus, you don't want to miss this week on our bonus episode where we draft the ultimate Y2K movie dance routines. All right, Jackie, tell us about Romy and Michelle's high school reunion.
In sunny LA, lifelong besties Romy White and Michelle Weinberger are thriving emotionally. Professionally, not so much. So when an invite to their 10-year high school reunion shows up, they panic because returning to Tucson means facing the A group, old insecurities, and the fact that they absolutely did not peak after graduation. Their solution? Reinvent themselves as wildly successful businesswomen, lie with confidence, and walk into that reunion like they own the place. It stars Mira Sorvino, Lisa Kudrow, Janine Garofalo, and Alan Cumming. It was directed by David Merkin, written by Robin Schiff, and you can currently rent it on a bunch of platforms. I know it's on Amazon Prime, but it's not currently streaming for free anywhere. But before we start, let's get into our ratings rewind.
So you know the drill. Before we get into the movie, we are going to reveal the rating our Y2K versions of ourselves will give, and then at the end, we'll see if our current selves agree with our initial ratings. Our scale consists of would buy it again.
The best would play it on repeat.
5-day rental.
Would watch again.
2-day rental.
Okay, but nothing's to write home about.
And same-day rental.
Much like Billy, it's trash.
All right, Gwen, what did you think of this movie back in the day?
Would buy it again and again and again. I loved this movie. I keep singing already.
I love it.
People are like, shut it off.
No,
Never.
Never.
Jackie, what is your rating?
Okay, there's gonna be... Good thing Gwen's with you, Danielle. I'm so sorry. I watched it once, rented it on VHS, was not impressed. It was a same-day rental for me.
Oof.
I know. I'm sorry.
Listen, honesty is important here.
Let's see.
Is it? Sometimes I just want a bitch to lie to me.
I get your perspective for sure. I'm not here as often as you are, although I have been here a lot.
All right. Well,
Danielle.
It was a would buy for me. I initially recorded it on a VHS and watched it religiously. It was like on that VHS, I think I had Dirty Dancing, this movie, and
Oh.
like a ton of other things that I would just watch over and over again. But it was just like one of those movies that I had another friend before I met Jackie.
How
And
dare you?
sorry. And this was like one of our movies because it like I just always loved movies where there were outcasts that were kind of weird. So, and they fit that criteria.
Yeah.
You know, but you know what I could say is that after 20 plus years with Jackie, she still knows how to shock a bitch to the core. So,
almost
there
6
we go.
seasons. Or
As
almost
best friends do.
Yeah. Almost 5 seasons down and still surprises to be had.
Yeah. Gotta look around that corner like Brenda in Scary Movie 2.
Oh my God.
Just don't know. All right, so the box office had a budget for this movie of $20 million. I'm actually surprised it was that much.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And it made 29 million. So it wasn't a certified hit. What was in the box office, Jack?
Number 1 that week was Volcano. Romy and Michele did come in second for first week in the box office. Then Conley family favorite Anaconda, Liar Liar, and then The Saint.
Nice. R.I.P. Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
So, as I said, it made a good amount of money modestly in the theaters, but it exploded when it was on cable. That movie was on cable all the time. VHS and DVD and millennial rewatches, it became like a cult classic, obviously. Lil Raj.
Was he kind to you today, Danielle?
You know, remember when we did BAPS? Because we will always bring up BAPS.
Yes.
I brought up the fact that like I feel like BAPS is a sister movie to this movie in a weird way. And if I want to complete the trilogy in another way, I feel like Night at the Roxbury would be like a trilogy of those 3 movies. I don't know why.
Fair.
I don't know if it makes sense, but in my mind, it does.
I talked about Night at the Roxbury while we were watching this. Ron and I were watching this the other day because I was like, this kind of like it had like a sketch feel especially at the beginning, and then Night at the Roxbury was also based off of a sketch that was like seemed like it was based off of that. So it was all I don't remember which Romy and Michele came first.
Yeah,
yes.
I think so.
Yeah, by a few years. And so I was like, it felt like it was like they kind of took that idea and made their like dude version of it. And I was like, it wasn't as good.
And
anyway.
I think did Mona do Night at the Roxbury as well? The costume?
That's a good question.
Oh, that was a really good question.
I think she did.
Whoa.
Unless I'm just making up
You're
stuff.
like, let's make a new Romy and Michele. I was like, it felt very coded.
Night in the Roxbury came out the year after.
She was.
Oh, it was the next year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yes, those 3 movies just feel like they belong together. But I bring this up because we infamously constantly complain about Roger Ebert giving BAPS 0 stars. He gave this movie 3 out of 4 stars. He called it one of the brightest and goofiest comedies in a while. I need him to tell me how it's so different. It's just as goofy. The fashion is it's damn near the same plot in some ways.
Yeah.
But, I digress. The Washington Post described the setup with affection, reunion, dread turns into dress to the nines and lie through their teeth about their successful lives. And Lisa Schwartzbaum from Entertainment Weekly gave it a C+. She said it was sloppy, pleasant comedy, an amiable mess, and says the creaky expansion joints are audible.
Sure, whatever that means.
I don't know who you are, but I know who Romy and Michele is. And I'll leave it at that. But before we get into cast and crew, let's hear a message from our pod pals.
You're invited to I Am the Cute One, the most chaotic school dance in the podcast universe.
Let's spike the punch, grind to usher, and talk about our favorite topic, ourselves.
On our show, we'll chat movies, kind of, gossip about pop culture and current events, kind of, but mostly we'll overshare, trauma dump, and embarrass ourselves publicly.
After all, we're millennials, so we've been living and laughing and loving through unprecedented events every few years our entire lives.
I'm Donnie, and I am the cute one. I'm the resident Marsha Brady, Keke Palmer's #1 fan, and the president of the Romy and Michele Book Club.
And I'm Chelsea, and I'm the cute one. I'm a man-hating, reality TV-obsessed Gemini just trying to gentle parent without losing my mind. And together, we're best friends, mortal enemies, and the hosts of I Am the Cute One.
So, if talking shit is your love language, smash that subscribe button and let's get cute. Talk to you later. Love you like a sister.
The
Great
casting crew. Yeah. Lisa Kudrow originated the role of Michelle in the off-Broadway play Ladies' Room.
I knew nothing about that.
Well, you said it felt like a sketch. You're not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it was a whole play.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, she's also came from, did she come from Groundlings? I
I
forget.
feel
Maybe
like she did.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
I forget, but
And in Ladies' Room, apparently and I have it somewhere else, the original idea for that play was based on an interaction that the playwright had in a bathroom at a Mexican restaurant, I believe. And it was two women talking together, and it was just like this very vapid conversation that became the basis for Romy and Michele.
oh.
I feel like this movie could easily just be like making fun of them and calling them ditzy, but their friendship is at the heart of the movie, so it just makes it more serious that they take each other seriously,
Mhm.
and everything else is kind of silly, but they don't play about their friendship, and that I feel like who can't relate to that, you know?
Yeah, I think that they did a really good, it was, I don't know what I was going to say. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. I feel like there was a lot of like groundedness that I didn't like clock maybe obviously the first time I watched it, but that was like, they were able to ground these really big characters in a way that was really impressive to me.
Yeah.
They were like like they could have gotten really sloppy and total sketch and like just like total like one-dimensional characters, but they were not. They were more fleshed out than that. And I think that was really important.
And it's interesting because we love to say this, but we had Mona May, who was the costume designer, on the show, and she talked about how this, just like the acting and everything, could have gone completely over the top, but with the costumes, she didn't want to get into campy. She didn't want to get it so far over the line where it was like the clothes were wearing the characters and not the other way
Yes.
around.
Yeah.
And I think she did such a great job.
I agree.
Alan Cumming was cast late in the process, and his take on Sandy leaned harder into theatrical camp than originally scripted, but that helped elevate the character from revenge nerd to scene-stealing icon.
Oh.
Yeah, because like Sandy really he didn't come to play. What I don't understand is that like Sandy did not have to wait till the reunion to go get Michelle,
Yeah.
but it was like, and it was theatrical for him. He had to do this entire thing. He wanted to show up all these people that he was like, F you, but also I'm gonna come and get my lady.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
was something about like the money. It's like the assumption was that money gave him the confidence to finally go after it, which like it's not like the best, but like he was like fairly glamorous at the end of that movie.
Yeah.
Really, and like pretty adorable. So I've
been
sold.
watching a lot of Traders and
Yep.
like
Yep.
top tier Alan Cumming camp. And so like
Yeah.
it was almost like, oh, Sandy in his older age becomes the host of Traders almost.
Yeah.
Just like, welcome to my castle. Look at my kilt.
Yeah. I know, it's so great.
And I love that Romy and Michele, their characters shine, but you also get these really amazing side characters that feel lived in and not caricatures, but really fun. And they just mesh really well with with Romy and Michele, including Janine Garofalo, who plays Heather Mooney. They said she was toned down from the play because she was in the off-Broadway ladies' room. Heather is sharper and darker. The film softens her enough to keep the comedy buoyant while still letting her be kind of judgy, judgment incarnate.
Yeah, I think that's really accurate because I think there are so many 90s movies where there's the dark, artsy, like,
Right.
angry chick. And like this, like she immediately, like the first scene she's in, they mention Sandy and she like softens and is like, "It's Sandy, you know?" And it's like you don't see Janine like that at all and anything else. And so it's just like it gets your attention. I think that
Yes.
was really smart.
Well, yeah,
It's also good direction, I think, too.
Definitely.
100%.
And Toni Collette was considered to be cast as Romy.
And it could never be wrong. And
Yeah.
it could never be wrong. Now, I love both these ladies, but I truly believe that woman can do anything.
Yeah,
There
she's
is a
great.
movie with her and Drew Barrymore. It is god awful, but she still is able to elevate it.
Mhm.
That I was able to finish watching it.
Wow.
And if you question my thoughts, go watch the TV show called The United States of Terra.
Mhm.
Still, hands down, one of the best TV shows ever because she played like so many different characters.
Yeah, she's really, really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I could have been fine with it.
I'm sure.
Well, let's get into the movie. So the movie opens, we're introduced to Romy and Michele. They live together in LA, and you can tell right off the bat it's just a very codependent relationship.
They share a brain. That's what it feels like.
They really do. Even when they're like laying side by side in like their Bert and Ernie beds, like yeah. They are never apart ever.
No. Codependency at its cutest.
And they love fashion, but they kind of exist in like this little bubble where they work together to design clothes, and then Michelle makes all the clothes for them. And in their mind's eye, they are just top tier elite bad bitches.
Yeah, like that kind of audacity, confidence, usually found in a white man. These
Yes.
girls got it. Like
Yeah.
you can't tell them nothing,
They
you
do
know.
have mediocre white man energy.
But I think the one thing I took away from the movie was that when you are truly aligned with your authenticity and who you are, and you just stay true to that, everything kind of comes together eventually. Like later on, we'll talk about it, but Michelle says, "I never thought we weren't cool."
Yeah.
Because when you could be in a horrible environment, but if you have really good friends, it doesn't matter. And I know people feel like that when they work in a horrible, toxic environment, but you're like cracking up because you're cool with your coworkers. It kind of just don't, the other stuff doesn't faze you as much. That's how I feel.
Yeah. That's well said.
So
It is. I'm not. That sounds
Yeah.
sarcastic.
No.
That's
Hey,
well said. Says
Gwen.
Janine Garofalo. I was serious.
Thank you.
I wasn't gonna. I was like, I could add on to that, but I don't need to.
So we see Romy at work. She works at Jaguar, and she's the cashier, and just long line of entitled, grumpy clients waiting for their cars. And what's that man's name?
Ramon.
Ramon is constantly hitting on her. He's one of the techs. And so up to the counter comes Heather, who Romy recognizes from high school, and is immediately like very kind, like just like, "Hey Heather, how's it going?" Like, and Heather's just like, "Romy, what are you doing here? I just need my car." But then like Romy starts to pull that softness out of Heather, just talking about, and Heather has a grudge against Michelle, unbeknownst to Michelle.
And
because,
Romy, they don't know.
yeah, because Heather was in love with Sandy, who is in love with Michelle, and never gave Heather the time of day. But in this conversation, Heather mentions that the 10-year high school reunion is happening this weekend. And Romy's like, why weren't we invited? Which, do we ever get clarification?
We never figure that out. Yeah, I was really hoping that there would be some callback to sort of like why they didn't get the invitations. They probably just missed them because they weren't paying attention or
That's
something
fair.
somehow.
They just
Yeah.
I don't know.
They don't check
They
mail.
don't.
I
guess
honestly
not.
just think that nobody knew how to reach them.
No,
That's
maybe.
fair too.
Yeah,
Gotta know where
like
they are.
it feels like everybody else lived still back in their old town
Oh
except
yeah,
for
they
Yeah.
left.
Sandy
Yeah.
and Heather. But I think Heather definitely got an invitation because of what's her name? Toby, not Toby. What's the girl's
I
name?
think that's her name.
I thought it was Toby.
Toby.
Is it Toby? I think
Yes.
Heather got it because Toby is like obsessed with Heather and wants her to
Yeah.
be her friend no matter what. So that's my thought.
And it's just interesting. It's a very like intuitive callback to those high school dynamics where you just like don't know how people perceive you. And then you're
Yes.
surprised on like, oh, like when we met, I won't name any names, but we ran into one of our high school acquaintances in New York after high school. And he was like, oh yeah, my best friend had the biggest crush on Jackie. And I'm like, me? Like, I just sat in the back in a hoodie and like just wore Jenkos. Like, who is obsessed with me? And he's like, no, like seriously obsessed. I was like, oh, look at me.
That's
That
cute.
shit used to piss me off. Don't tell me
I know.
after school that you like me. Get the fuck out of my face. I was suffering
High
in
school
high school.
dynamics are hard.
Yeah.
And you want to come stroll up on me. I will say, every crush I ever had in high school, I did get to at least make out with them after high school.
Good for you.
So there's no Billy
That
worship.
wasn't sarcastic either.
Yeah,
No,
I'm very happy for you.
there's no Billy worship now. I'm like, oh, they were shitty. All of them. I didn't miss a thing in high school.
No, that's good.
So Romy goes home and tells Michelle, like, hey, ran into Heather. There's a high school reunion we need to plan for. And Michelle is like, she's up for whatever. But then they start, like, they do like this flashback of like their experience in high school. And so we get a flashback to them eating lunch. And Michelle had to wear a brace for her scoliosis. And what's the resident mean girl?
Christy.
I wanted to say
Christy.
Heather. It's
Thank
not
you.
right. That's not the right movie.
Christy. There are so many people that were on Friends in this movie. And so I'm like, oh, she's the one dating Hums Wally Peas. Like, that's how I associate all of the actors in this movie. But Christy is like being fake nice to Michelle, but also putting refrigerator magnets on her back.
Jim,
Yeah,
like,
which,
that's
like, okay.
not like
Yeah.
the way she was freaking out was. I'm like, are y'all serious? Y'all supposed to bring it as Mean Girls, and
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
is
it was
what you
really,
do.
it was really lame.
Now her
Oh, and
eating that
nobody even
hamburger,
noticed.
right?
Oh, yeah.
That hamburger though, we would have
Yeah.
fought. I would have
That was
punched that bitch
mean.
straight in the face.
Yeah.
Because you see, Romy is talking about, I'm so excited it's hamburger day. Like,
Yeah.
bitch. I also like, we've talked about this in other episodes about how toxic 90s culture was about weight and how much weight is talked about.
Yeah.
And the fact that Romy is supposed to be considered chubby or fat is insane work.
Yeah, it was 90s, peak 90s diet culture bullshit.
Yeah, it's really bad.
That's the only complaint I have about the movie, really,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah. Well,
Well, there might be one other thing.
and the fact that like Romy is now so unrecognizable because she
Yeah.
lost all the weight, but
No.
then the flashbacks also kind of didn't make sense because then they showed like their senior year. She was
And
already
she lost weight. Yeah.
she was already
She looked
thin.
exactly the same. It's like there's no, like,
I don't think she looked vastly different though. Did someone
No, she didn't.
but I don't think
people
did
were
someone
like,
Her
react?
hair was different, I guess.
yeah. Well, but people in like at the reunion were like, or like, I think I want to call him Fun Bobby because that's his name on Friends. Billy was like, took a second to register that it was Romy. I'm like, she looks exactly the same.
He
she
was
does.
drunk though.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, he was drunk.
He's a drunkard.
He was taking a second to recognize anything.
Anybody. So I don't know. I don't feel like it was like, oh my God. I don't think that. But I do think
Yeah.
it was cool that everybody associated the two of them together.
Yeah.
And that goes back to what you were saying, Jackie. Like you just don't know how people are like look how they perceive you.
Yeah.
Because Romy was so obsessed with the A group, and the only reason she was really obsessed with them is because she liked Billy so much. And they were so mean. They went out of their way to be mean to her, which probably meant that Christy was probably a little bit threatened by her liking her boyfriend.
We also get the flashback of them at prom,
Yeah.
and Romy gets the nerve to go up to Billy and ask him to dance. He's like, "Yeah, give me a few minutes," and then like ghosts her, and like again, Christy is just like tittering in a corner, like it's the funniest shit ever. It's like,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she goes up to her and she's like, Billy's leaving me now
Yeah.
because he wants to be with you. Like, just horrible shit to
Yeah,
do.
that's pretty bad.
But every time I see the prom scene, I just think of me and Jackie going to prom together.
we did go to prom together.
Did you dress like Madonna too?
We did
No,
not.
no.
That's a bummer.
No.
You should have.
Our dresses were pretty though. I mean,
Oh,
we
I'm
were in the
sure.
90s. If we looked like Madonna, I think people would be like, ew,
That's,
what are you guys doing?
Another decade prior.
It would have been a different version of Madonna. So
Yeah.
in high school we had Frozen Madonna. It was
Yeah.
when
Oh,
she
yeah.
after
Ray
she
of Light
had
Madonna.
Yeah.
Lourdes.
She was like her like Madonna goth. I don't know what
Yes.
you call it.
Yeah.
She's like, I have black hair now and I look extra pale and I maybe have a British accent. That was a little bit later.
Yeah, she was on a whole nother level during those years. But yes, Jackie and I went to prom together.
We did not get a prom photo though. That's where Danielle drew the line.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you you wish now that you would have done that?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
I do. I should have done it. At the time, I will say this. When Jackie was saying we should get pictures, I was very concentrated on the buffet. We were at the buffet.
Okay.
We were at the buffet, and she kept saying, take pictures.
You were hungry.
And Newfound Glory was at the buffet too. So I'm like,
my
Jackie,
God,
why are you
that's
talking
right.
about pictures? Newfound Glory is here.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You've told me that before.
So
That's wild.
I'm sorry, Jackie, but I will make it up to you one day.
Thank you.
I
made up
promise.
the
You
Destiny's
did make up
Child,
Beyonce.
so-
Yeah.
I've got backdrops at my house. Come on.
I will make
I've
it
got a
prom.
pink back. I just got a new pink backdrop.
Ooh.
If you guys want, we haven't thrown a like real life event. If you guys want, we can make a prom. We can make a 90s
Ron would
2000
lose his
prom.
mind. He wants to throw parties so bad. He's always complaining there's not enough weddings to go to anymore.
Well, we could throw a 2000s or nine. Oh, actually, our prom was 19. Wasn't it 1999 or no? Was it two? It was 2000. 2000 prom. Okay.
We were 2002,
I still
so
have my prom dress. I don't fit in it, but I
Yeah,
can
I
pretend.
still have it.
I can
I have
hold
one
it
of
up
mine
and
too.
pretend.
I could just hold. We could
I
just
have
get
the Romy and
replicas
Michelle
made.
dresses right
Yes,
here.
yes.
You can wear them. We can
So-
add like skirts or something longer. skirts.
Yeah.
You guys let us know.
Okay.
So, not only do we now have to figure out how we're getting to the reunion, Romy and Michelle realize that because they're like, we're going to show them, like, we're hot shit, like, going. And then they're like, we don't have boyfriends. Michelle's unemployed. Romy's just a cashier. Like, oh, we really haven't done anything since high school. So we need to pretend to be successful businesswomen.
But I was thinking about it. They're 27, 28 at this point. Like, who the fuck really had it all together by then? I was
Nope.
thinking about when I was that age, I was like, I was taking shots at a bar called Bob's that had a couch in the corner, like that I'm sure had some sort of flea situation or bed bugs. Who knows? Like everyone knew not to sit on the couch. Like, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not put together by then.
No. I think I was
No.
working in a bowling alley. Maybe that was a little bit later. I mean, it's a little bit earlier than that.
I
But-
had
Yeah.
just moved. No. I had decided to go back and get my teaching certification. So I was working at a daycare for like minimum wage during the day and doing my teaching cert at night.
Yeah.
At 28.
We didn't have
I
it
still don't know
together.
what I want to be when I grow up. Like
Same. Same.
When was I 20? God, what year was it when I was 28? Oh my God.
I was at the club having a good time.
wearing your blazer.
Wait,
Wear my blazers with the shoulder pads and
oh no, that was 2012. I was in LA already at 28.
Oh, look at how successful you are.
Well, I wasn't doing anything. I was working as a server. I just was like living. I think we were probably living at by the beach
Ooh.
in an apartment. It was like early in me and Ron's LA journey. Anyway,
Oh.
I was just being a server. I think I was like trying to get into the girl group that my friend was in, which was not a good situation for them.
Oh.
That's when I followed my best friend to LA. My Michelle.
Aw.
I think that would be so cool though. So now that they're realizing that they have to find jobs, husbands, car, they gotta get it all done. But they make a plan. They divide
They
and
make a
conquer.
plan and they commit to it.
Yeah. Romy is in charge of finding a husband, and Michelle is in charge of finding a job for herself. And Romy also takes care of transportation, where she has to now go in a tight ass dress to go talk to Ramon about using his car, which my question is, what happened to the car at the end? Because
Oh,
they go
Yeah,
on a
I
house
had that
hunting.
same question. I was like, I said out loud, I was like, what about their car? Are they going to get it back to Ramon? Like, he should have it back.
Right.
That's like loose ends that I hate.
Yes.
Little loose ends, like fridge doors being left open, even. Anyway,
I think we're supposed to assume that Sandy has so much money he'll take care of it.
Yeah.
He'll get it. Yeah, he'll get it sent back in his like
He'll
car.
pay someone to drive it
transporter.
back.
Yeah, someone
Yeah.
will drive it back. Yeah.
So, and the way Romy gets the car is she pretends to have sex with Ramon in the break room.
Yeah,
It's real bad.
It's not great. It's so much better than her actually having sex with him.
Yes.
But it's also
It's like really like how did those dudes not know that that she was
Yeah.
faking it? But maybe a lot of dudes don't
are
know
dumb,
when
and
you
that's
fake.
exactly
Yeah.
Yep. I think that was maybe the point there.
Yeah. Mm.
But the end was kind of funny when she's like, "All right, thank you, get off me now."
Yeah.
Okay, we're done.
And then she's kind of striking out with the men. Where she like
Ugh.
he's like I work at a suit
I'm a
shop.
suit salesman.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite lines in the whole movie.
She's like, my shoe's filling with blood. I cut
Yeah,
it on the
she
way
said,
and I gotta
I just
go."
remembered that I cut my foot before and my shoe's filling up with blood, and then hobbles away like she has an injured foot.
that
It's
that
such
was
a
committed.
great line. It's so funny, and like she didn't like another like example of it not being overplayed and being like pushed, as we could say pushed in actor terms. You don't want to push too hard for something.
Yeah.
She really just kind of sits back and goes, "Oh no, my foot is filled with blood. I gotta go." And she doesn't. It's just so well delivered. It's so good. It's
Like when you think back now, knowing who these actors are, because like I think at the time I just like couldn't conceptualize like who these actors were and their work and stuff.
Totally.
Lisa Kudrow, you could see her playing awkward perfectly.
Yeah,
This
you
is
can just
her
see her
role.
doing what she's known for at this
Right.
point. Yeah.
But Mira Sorvino, now looking back, like even in this picture, you see how like awkward, like she looks like she's about to do the robot, but she perfectly does these weird, odd, awkward physical movements.
Mhm.
She does inflections with her voice.
Her voice is so interesting. It is not
Yes.
a voice you would ever it's like it's like a Valley Girl, but her own version. I've never heard anywhere
Yeah.
else before.
And there's like a
it,
deepness to
yeah,
it.
It's
like
so
it feels like comes
specific.
from like the
She's like,
bottom
oh,
of your throat.
it's like a
Yes.
surfer bro who doesn't know they're a surfer bro. But
Yes.
but it's not even that. It's so good. It's so interesting. I
Yeah.
love her voice. The way
Well,
she says stuff is so
And
specific.
she made Romy intentionally stiff. So her posture and her rigid confidence walk were deliberate choices, emphasizing how she's performing adulthood rather than fully inhabiting it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like Michelle would have made more sense because she was in that brace, like so I could
Mhm.
see her being a little bit more robotic, but it does make her because these women from like they fit the beauty standard, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost like you have to have some quirkiness there or it just become it falls flat to
Yeah.
believe that everybody thinks they're weird, you know?
Yeah, they have to actually find specific weird things that
Right.
Yeah.
they can naturally do as people.
Right.
Was this a lot of this has to come from them because if it didn't, we wouldn't buy it.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
Exactly.
Like Lisa Kudrow always saying like, okay, just
Yeah.
like all wit to everything
Yeah.
is hilarious.
100%.
Does she understand? We're not sure.
She's very agreeable though.
But she's just like, oh, sure. All right.
So
I
we
do think
get-
she's just Phoebe in this movie.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, really, truly, that's accurate.
So now we get the trip to Tucson, and when Romy pulls up with Ramon's car, Michelle does ask, "Did you sleep with him to get this car?" And Romy is offended and is like trying to process like not being offended, but she's still like in the back of her mind.
Oh, yeah, I think
offended.
she says, like, oh, I had to give all the guys hand jobs. And then
Yeah.
Michelle just didn't react to that either way. She just was
She's like,
oh,
okay.
Okay, like she does.
Yeah.
She is like, and she moves on and she's like, wait, you actually think I would do that?
Yeah.
Like, so she did it. And it was like the test that that Danielle did to you. Jackie.
Yes. Michelle and I both failed.
Oh man. Do you guys, okay, when you look at these two characters, do you wonder which one you're more like? Did you say, "Oh, I'm more Romy than Michelle," or vice versa
I did
while
not
you're
resonate
watching?
with either character.
I thought about this mostly because Kara and I did the reenactment of the dance
Yeah.
scene on my TikTok, on both of our TikToks.
Yeah.
And we thought about which one would be which. Mostly like some of the harder dance moves were Romy's, but also I tend to be the know-it-all of the two of us. I'm the one that's like, no, we're doing things this way.
Yeah.
And Kara's like, okay.
When
And Kara's also more unintentionally funny. So it made sense to me.
When I looked at it, I was like, what you said, Jackie. I do not resonate to feel like we are either one of these two,
Mhm.
but there are parts of it that I was like, okay, just being with each other and can be in our own little bubble.
Mhm.
And I recognize that we probably did a lot of that in high school as well, like not really paying attention to being in groups and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Like, but also when because Romy looks like she's the leader, but I think you and I can flip on times.
Yeah.
There are times where I'm like, my brain's tired, Jackie's got it. And she will be very like type A about stuff. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Like,
Yeah.
and it could be, and then it flips like vice versa. Then I'll be more of the Romy. So I just thought that was cool that,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's very situational too. Like if
Yeah.
it's more like business stuff, like Danielle definitely takes the lead. But if it's like we're planning a vacation, then it's like, okay, Jackie's in charge.
You got specific strengths and specific
The
things
little-
you enjoy doing.
the little people in
Yeah.
my head are like, there's a sign that says time off. That's what's
Mhm.
happening.
Yep.
Whatever Jackie tells me we're doing.
That's great.
I think our Chicago trip was like one of the first times that maybe I did like I was like, oh, we could maybe do this or do that, or but
Yeah.
that was very little. I was like, I got our place.
And we didn't
That was
really
it.
plan
That's
much.
great.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We I just need to go into something knowing, like, is it a wing it vacation, see where the day takes us, or is it like we want to see and do everything and then I can plan accordingly?
And I was okay with winging it because I had been there before. I
Yeah.
think when it's some like you've never been and you're not sure if you're going to come back, you try to get
Yeah.
everything in.
Yeah, if I wing it too much, then I won't do anything. I'll just sit
Yeah.
in the hotel or Airbnb and just be on my phone.
But
so I gotta plan
I
a couple
get
things.
it just
Sometimes you
depends.
need that. Sometimes
Yeah.
you need that. But it's good to have balance. I'm like,
Yeah.
I gotta get out and do
Yeah.
something while we're here.
It is situational. I think with different groups of friends, I'm totally different because
Oh, yeah.
I've made itineraries and group newsletters where I'm like 25 days before our trip, and they're like, this bitch, so it just depends on,
Definitely.
yeah.
So
So now they have their
now,
car.
yes. And they're dressed up in their business executive attire, which is just black suits, skirt
They go to
suits.
a diner and change from their wonderful, colorful outfits, and they ask for the business
This woman's
lady.
special.
I can't wait to do
So
that one
good.
day, Jackie, that we go in somewhere and I'm like,
Oh.
can I see the businesswoman?
Excuse me.
I don't know why
We're-
I just
can
had
you
a
have
mental
businesswoman
picture of like going
special?
into a Wahoo and you just being like, can I have the businesswoman special?
What's a Wahoo, Jackie?
The Waffle House?
Waffle House?
Oh, is that what
wow.
it's shortened called? I think I've only been to a Waffle House once,
Same.
and
Me
it
too.
was
I've
I'm
only been
good.
once.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
But they do
It-
have peanut butter chips that they'll put on your pancakes, which I put peanut butter on my pancake anyway. So if it's in chip form, great.
that's
I'm
cute.
aware, but the chips threw me off because you know what I thought of at first was literal potato chips, and I was
Potato
like,
chips.
and then I was like, oh, she means like chocolate chips with peanut butter, and I was like, still don't like that. Do you have peanut butter on yours, Gwen?
No, I like strawberries.
Hmm.
I'm a fruity tooty.
Tootie.
Fruity tooty, I guess.
I love
guess
the
that's-
face you just made at
I
yourself.
judged my own words. I do that a lot. I'm a fruity tooty. I like strawberries and
Well,
that's pretty much it.
blueberries.
Blueberries are fine. Strawberries are the
Bananas.
best.
So we were driving, and then Michelle gets into a face making fight with a child in the back of
Oh,
a
yeah.
station wagon. And then the parents look really offended, and I'm like,
Yeah, they'd be like, oh.
I probably wouldn't even react. I'd just be like, okay, that's just some people are weird.
And they don't know their own kid enough to know that their kid's making faces. in the
Yeah.
backseat.
Yeah.
They
Or
they're
like
not paying
at least
attention.
you're entertaining him, and I
And he
don't
doesn't
have
have
to
his
talk to
seatbelt
him.
on.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Oh,
Get it
no
together, parents
bueno.
in the 90s.
And then we get where like we get the whole entrance to the reunion, and it's like Billy is ready to have a happily ever after with Romy, and what was Michelle's?
Michelle
So
meets
Michelle,
what's his face, but he has plastic surgery, so it's like
Yes.
Alan
yeah,
Cumming
the
with
dream sequence.
Yeah.
Ron was really
Right.
confused. He had like stopped paying attention for a second and then came back and he's like, wait, what's happening? And then people started floating out of frame and I was like, you can't figure out this is a dream. This is a
I
dream.
totally forgot this whole
Ah,
scene, and I used to watch
yeah.
it so much, and I was like, "What the fuck
I
is going
forgot
on?"
too. It was like, yeah, he had like a fake face and
Yeah.
And all of it's a dream because Michelle and Romy had a huge fight
Mhm.
about who's the Rhoda and who's the
Who's the
Mary from
Mary?
Mary Tyler Moore. And then just in general, that I think Romy is just really anxious about these people. And I think she maybe internalized how much they got bullied more than maybe Michelle did.
Mhm.
And so I think she just wants to prove so much that they're great, and
Mhm.
they get in a fight. So that's why this happens. Michelle falls asleep and has this crazy tripped out dream, And the viewer, not knowing, is like, this reunion is weird as fuck.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I did remember that it was a dream just based on that first shot, the way that they followed the back of Michelle's head and everyone was sort of blurry around her. And
Yeah.
it was like you're like following the scene through, like, because sometimes in a dream, like you're you, but you're seeing you at the same
Yeah.
time. I was like very dream coded, and I was like, oh, I think this is a dream, but I was like, I have to wait to find out if I'm right. So
Well, and
I
then
forgot. Yeah.
there were balloons on the walls that were carrots and bananas, which were the magnets
Oh, I
that
didn't even notice that.
Christy
And
put
Christy's
on.
picture was
Oh.
everywhere.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's funny. I forgot. I didn't even notice that.
It was like very President Snow from Hunger Games. Like
Oh
her
yeah.
face was just on banners
That's
everywhere.
hilarious.
And then we move into post reunion. Like Romy's on her deathbed and they video call her and they're still arguing about who's the Mary, and then Romy dies. And then that's when we get the scene where the car is parked, Romy's not in the car, and Michelle is just like passed out in the
Sleeping.
passenger seat because Romy has just left her in the parking lot.
Which really fucked up. And
Yes.
Romy is spinning lies because the thing is, like, she goes straight to the A group
Yeah.
to, like,
Yeah, she's like walks right up.
yeah, and they're like, they don't give a shit about her at
Yeah.
all. And she says she invented post-its, and like the fact that she can't conceptualize that is a crazy thing to say, because first and foremost, I have to believe post-its were around a lot longer than they have
Mm.
been. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what year it came
Yeah.
out, but she just puts herself, and they start laughing at her. And then Heather Mooney comes up, and Heather Mooney doesn't give a shit about the what is it?
The A
A
group.
team, A group.
Yeah.
She
The
doesn't care,
Avengers.
but she's looking for Sandy, so she's like distracted. And so when Romy says that she invented Post-its, she's like, "No, you didn't." And she actually says who the guy is that did.
Art
And now,
Fry, he did in fact create post-its.
Mm-hmm. It's like business school 101 stuff, something like that.
right, like, so then the girls start making fun of her. And this is where I kind of feel like Michelle is way more of a ride or die.
Hmm.
Well, I'm not going to judge it because Romy's been paying the rent. So everybody has their job.
Yeah.
But Michelle comes up and can't stand to see her friend, even though they're in an argument, be made fun of. And she like cusses them clean out.
Yeah, it seems like Romy just tends to get a little more tunnel visioned with an idea,
Yeah.
Yeah.
whereas like Michelle can kind of like rein her in if needed.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, hey, whoa, you know?
And it's a
And
good balance.
Yeah, it
and
is.
and the whole argument was over because Romy's like, okay, we invented post-its. And then she's going through like, I had this idea and then blah blah blah. And then Michelle's like, so what did I do to help invent
Yeah.
post-its? And she's like, you suggested the color yellow, and that was very offensive to Michelle. And so I did like in the dream sequence, and then Michelle brings it up in like real life, that she's like, I knew the formula to this
Oh,
the
yeah.
adhesive in my dream.
She knew the formula for glue.
Which I think is just to say that Michelle is a lot smarter than she even gives herself
Mhm.
credit for. And I think that's what hurts her feelings about Romy, is because they always pump each other up. They're never really truly in competition with each other. And the fact that it feels like you've been harboring this feeling that you're smarter than me, or and you actually say it out like loud, I
Mhm.
think really hurt her feelings. But
Mhm.
that was Romy spinning out of control because she's very insecure about everything.
Yeah.
And Michelle sets her straight. She also finds her own lane to say, hey, you know what? I could lead this group every now and again and tell you to get your act together. And we're going to go back out there as ourselves, and we're going to have fun. We don't have to be around all these people and do their shit. We're going to be fun with each other like we always are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they do.
And the A team, no.
Sorry. It's my fault.
The what is
A
A
group.
A
Thank you.
group.
The
Yeah.
A group, you kind of see their veils slip too as they're talking because it's like, oh, Billy and I married right out of high school. He's in real estate development. And the friends are kind of like side eyeing Christy, like,
Mm.
Bitch,
that's not
your life is
true.
horrible.
Yeah.
Because when Romy's looking for Billy, they're like, oh, he's probably by the bar, which is
Yeah, they
to
say
the
try the bar. And she's like,
well,
"Oh, thanks."
right, like get a clue. To the audience, we're like,
Mm.
oh, that means his ass drunk all the
Mhm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, when they decide to go back to the car, I love a movie makeover, but I really love when you can do a makeover really fast.
Mhm.
Oh
And
yeah.
so they just go in their suitcase in the car, shake out their hair, and they come out with the iconic
Iconic
blue and
outfits.
pink.
Yes.
Mine's too big.
Which we can talk a little bit about because when we had Mona on, she talked about making
Yeah.
these outfits.
Oh,
I
I'd
think
love to
it
hear this.
was Lisa's dress initially. She had the pink dress, it was metallic or whatever. Or maybe I
No,
think
it
it was
was
like a
Mira's.
different, it was Mira's dress.
Yeah.
And Lisa Kudrow's like, I want that too. So like they had to rework it, but a lot of the costumes on this entire set, she said she had to be very flexible. There was a lot of changes. It had to be really quick.
He did say that they were constantly running after Lisa and Mira because, like, just rhinestones falling off. It was just like glue gun in hand trying to fix these dresses. So it sounded like she had her work cut out for her in
Yeah.
those terms.
Sounds like she was making stuff on the fly quite a bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the dresses were meant to be a representation of masculine and feminine. And
Mm.
so like the blue dress was more structured, metallic, angular, the masculine energy. While the pink dress for Romy was softer, fluffy, had the boa, brighter, more
Michelle.
feminine. Michelle, sorry.
Yeah.
Messed it up.
That's cool.
Yeah. So then we also, so they come back in, make their re-entrance as their authentic selves. And shortly thereafter, Toby busts in and is like,
Which is
Sandy's
Sandy.
here.
Such a funny shot that up close
Oh
with
my
like
gosh,
this
it's
wild-eyed
hilarious.
Toby. She's like probably the most out like big character in this whole
Yes.
thing, and she's just like like she does this
She
his
just
face at the end. Oh, it's so good.
she reminds me of Melissa Joan Hart in Can't
Oh,
Hardly
can
Wait
hardly
with
wait. Yeah.
like I feel like their
Ah.
characters are very parallel to each
Mm-hmm.
other. But before Sandy comes in, they do cuss out Christy and the A group. And
Mhm.
then what is I think really cool is that when they announce Sandy's coming, because now they've been told off, the other characters kind of like push past them and kind of shows that everybody's been released from the hold of these
Mhm.
mean girls, which is really cool. And also we do get a moment with Heather saying coming to a realization that hey, everybody had somebody that was making their life a living hell in high school, and she didn't realize that they were going through this shit with the A group like she was feeling about Michelle, and then realizes that she was treating Toby like shit. And I'm
Yeah.
proud of Toby because she was like, yeah, could you sign my yearbook, but also don't be a grade A bitch about it.
Yeah.
Don't yell at
Yeah.
me. So that was cool. And then
Oh,
Sandy
also
comes.
Elaine Hendrix's character, really
Oh,
quick. I forget her
yes.
name, her character's name.
Lisa.
We should talk about Elaine Hendrix for a second because she's great.
Yes.
But I loved that takedown as well, where she was just like, obviously, like I don't talk to them anymore, and then she was like, "Listen, bitch, you don't have your shit together, and you suck." I forget what it is. I forget. She said something way better than that, but I loved that as well. That she was like, "Actually, your outfits are really not bad."
Yeah. And because she works for Vogue.
For
So
Vogue, yeah. So she's very successful.
yeah.
I love how she's like a mean girl and everything. She's a
Mhm.
reformed mean girl in this movie, but like in
She's
Superstar,
good
she's a
at
mean
that.
girl. Obviously in Parent Trap, horrific. But I still think everything wasn't her fault per se.
No, no. She gets kind of like roped in sometimes, her characters.
Yes.
She's a really nice, I've met her briefly a long time ago. She's
Ooh.
very nice.
So now Sandy's here and we're at the big dance scene. But no, that happens later. Go ahead, Jackie. Sorry.
So we get Sandy walks in and just the air about him, and everyone's super impressed because he's like this mogul and just worth like $1 billion. And he's just like, hello. And then he just beelines for Michelle. Like, that's the only reason why he's there. I think, like, showing that he's rich and successful is secondary to, like, where is Michelle? But Michelle, being the ride or die that she is, when he's like, let's dance, and she's like, can Romy dance too? And so then we get to time after time, like the most bizarrely fun original dance sequence I think I have ever seen. It's kind of like if you let 7-year-olds choreograph a dance.
They take it very seriously, and again,
Yeah.
I think this is so important that they did and that they do, just like Napoleon Dynamite and others, but like that they really commit to this dance and take it very seriously. And the choreography is like already so silly. Like you can't play too far into it or it just doesn't work. You have to be like, this is the most important dance of my life right now.
Yes. Because I would have loved if they had said that, like, they came up with this dance in high school or something and they were going to do it at prom and didn't get a chance. Because you can't tell me this is a freestyle.
I think that's part of what makes it so iconic is that it just kind of is like what they just made this up out of nowhere. No one ever addresses it. And it's just like met with applause is so silly.
So Ken he said he thought he watched Romy and Michele once, but then he's like, I don't remember most of it. I may have turned it off. And so we get to the dance scene and he is hysterically laughing, like can't catch his breath, crying. And so I start recording him and I sent it to Danielle and he was just like, what is happening?
Yeah, because if you go into this movie not knowing about it, I could imagine you being like, what the fuck? But I remember when I was younger, I thought that was totally normal. I did not think it was weird. I didn't go, what the hell? I was just like, da, da. I was with them.
I remember it being like I watched it with my mom at least. I don't know if my dad was watching too, probably, but like it was like a family like quality time thing to watch movies. But like it was like it's like one of our favorite scenes just because it is so hilarious. And so that my memory is just like of watching how funny that is with my family because we were all about funny stuff.
Danielle, next photo shoot, we definitely need like head cradling.
Yes.
Ron had never seen Romy and Michele, so he got to watch it for the first time with me. But he had seen the dance sequence because we reenacted it, and he helped us be Alan Cumming. We had a standee of Alan Cumming, R.I.P. I had to get rid of it eventually, but we had but we used the cardboard cutout of him, and Ron was controlling it for some of it, so he knew the dance really well.
Alan Cumming has like his own little subgenre in some of these movies because he has this movie Spice World and Josie and the Cats, and I feel like all three of those movies kind of go together in a interesting way.
That's true.
But my favorite character in this movie was Justin Theroux as the cowboy.
Yes.
And when I was young, I had just like really had a crush on, like couldn't see him much, but I was like, ooh, love him. And it took me years to put the pieces together that he was also my other crush in Charlie's Angels Full Throttle, where he plays the Irish guy.
I didn't even clock that.
Yeah.
I wish that his accent wasn't so
ridiculous.
Yeah, it was a little too put on, but he is a handsome gentleman.
He really is.
So. And accidentally kept calling him the wrong Justin, who's the Canadian Prime Minister.
Reynolds?
No.
Gosling?
I know, I kept calling him Justin. Oh, no.
I know who you're.
So he's dating Katy Perry right now.
Oh, Thoreau? No, that's
That's
this one.
him.
Oh.
See, now I can't even think of Trudeau. I kept saying Justin Trudeau, and Ron's like,
I started naming the Ryans.
The Canada guy? The Ryans.
Well, once they have their moment, Sandy's like, come away with me, and Romy can come too. Oh, wait, but before that, before the dance sequence, Romy finds Bobby hammered outside.
Oh, yeah.
And disheveled, and his like belly's hanging out of the bottom of his shirt. Hot Mess Express.
Yeah.
And so he's like, hey, come up to my room with me. And she's like, I thought, aren't you married to Christy? And he like divulges that like they're in an unhappy marriage, and he was laid off from his job that like he was given to him and all of this shit. And so Romy kind of was like, oh, okay. And then so she says, yeah, go up there. I'll be up there in a few minutes. Circling back to what he did to her at prom. And then
revenge.
she dances with Sandy and then gets on the helicopter, leaving Ramon's car behind.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's always bizarre to me when we have like these big groups that like run out of a place to like wave goodbye if someone flies off on like a jet or a helicopter.
Which I love what they did with it, which was like say it. They said, "Oh, it's too bad that no one else is gonna like run out and watch us leave while we leave." Like, so they knew the trope and then they did it.
Yes,
but they like self-aware.
I love that Christy's dress is like.
And was she really pregnant? Because that looked like a real pregnant belly to me.
No, they did a really good job because it's really similar to what her husband's belly. Because we saw that scene where he's throwing football and he looks really buff. So. Yeah, then they fly away, and the next scene we see now Romy and Michele have their own store, and we learn that Michelle's new boo has provided the money or a loan, Sandy, and
they're gonna pay
it's a cute little boutique. They're gonna pay him back.
I did wonder if they were actually together or not. They don't address that if they actually like are together, or if he just like gave her money for the store and they're going to pay him back and they're business partners. They don't really say, and I kind of like that.
Yes, I think it leaves it open, and it also makes it like
not him.
Yeah, it's not male centered in that way.
It's not about him. It's about those two.
And I love that Heather shops at the store and they have this really fun banter with her, and she's still smoking on them cigarettes. They smoke a lot, and
it's bad for her. Yeah.
Well, and that's Heather's claim to fame is that she created paper that burns quicker so you can smoke cigarettes faster.
Smoke more cigarettes. Hooray.
Yeah, that's like her whole side plot line with the cowboy, because he used to flick the cigarettes at her or towards her so that she can use it to light her cigarettes instead of him just coming over. But he tells her later he was deathly afraid and he used to stutter. Yeah. So it's just also like Heather experiences especially a lot of miscommunication.
Yes.
But that happens in high school. We all just are in our own little worlds. We're not thinking where other people are coming from. So it just feels like attacks,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then it ends with, let's fold scarves.
Yeah.
Which they don't really fold scarves. They just kind of shuffle the fabric around.
They just throw it up in the air and catch it. That's it.
That's it.
And that is Romy and Michele's high school reunion.
I just want to say that this soundtrack, because for me, I know Jackie doesn't love the 80s, but I love the 80s. So I think this is one of the reasons why I was obsessed with the movie, is because I love the songs and the soundtrack for this movie a lot.
The soundtrack cost almost $1 million by itself.
Oh, to get the rights for all the songs. Damn, son.
I mean, time after time alone is.
I know.
Yeah. So when we talked to Mona, she said that I mean, we all know because I think both Mira and Lisa talked about a sequel. So
Yeah.
she said that the sequel is happening. She plans to return as the costume designer. She's
I
already
hope
been
so.
approached. So she says
All
her
right.
main goal would be updating their wardrobe without making it seem like ab fab. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that.
Yep.
Well, Jackie's.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
So,
Yeah. That's exciting. I think it's
mhm.
still going to be some time before they can get it together, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
as is everything, takes a long time.
The film was shot mostly in LA, not Arizona. So, exteriors of the Sagebrush High School, supposedly in Tucson, Arizona, are actually Valencia High School, located in Santa Clarita, California, which was also seen in Pleasantville and Biodome.
Lisa Kudrow received a degree in biology from Vassar College, and Mira Sorvino has a degree in Asian studies from Harvard University. So production used to call them, or their nickname was Smart and Smarter. Very
Apparently,
interesting.
she's
I
fluent in Mandarin and French.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What a cool person.
Right?
I want to
Yes.
hear, I'm going to like look for interviews about her talking
Yeah,
now
I
because I want to
love
hear about
that.
that. Mm-hmm.
The arrowhead symbol on Romy's blue dress bears a striking resemblance to the insignia for the Star Trek franchise. Mira Sorvino specifically chose this since she is a huge fan of the original series. And
Oh,
Gwen
a
is
It looks like
tracker.
it's,
showing
yeah, it does kind of a bend to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, it looks like a triangle to me, but yeah, no, that's fun. It's like space.
Yeah. Alan Cumming owns a bar in New York City called Club Cumming,
Oh yeah, I knew that.
where every Saturday the bar hosts a Romy and Michele themed day involving 90s music. I'm assuming there's probably some 80s music in there too. DJ requests written on post-it notes and scarf folding stations.
Oh my God, cute.
Do you think it's
That's so
still
silly.
open?
I'll
I
look
don't
it up.
know. I don't know.
Kudrow worked closely with Robin Schiff, the writer, to fine-tune Michelle's speech patterns so she felt naive but not stupid, earnest, literal, and emotionally sincere, which,
Yeah.
cool,
See, you
did
have
a
to
good
care about
job.
that stuff. Yeah, you have to.
Yep,
Uh,
it's still open.
oh, that's
They
cool.
do burlesque there. It's on
Oh,
6th Street
hmm.
and Avenue
6 and what?
A.
That does feel
Um,
like it
Yeah,
would be
that
in the
feels right.
avenues.
That feels right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alphabet City
Uh,
adjacent.
well, before we get into our ratings, Gwen, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you on social?
Oh, sure. So you can go to Instagram and then find me as Gwendolinstagram. You go to TikTok and find me as Gwen Carroll.
You can
That
find us at No More Late Fees. And if you can't find Gwen, just follow who we're following. Not
just
a lot of people. It's Gwen's
let's
there.
yeah, I'm around. And if you can't like it's okay. I'll find you. Don't worry about it. I'll meet you in the middle.
Gotta love a psychic.
And
I'll find you. All right, Gwen.
and present day ratings, Gwen, we'll start with you.
I mean, I don't think it's any surprise. I would say this probably about every movie I've done with you guys, but I would buy it again. I think it holds up really well, aside from
Yeah.
all the 90s diet culture bullshit.
Yes.
Yes.
I can't forget what my other complaint was, but I'll think of it later.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, what was your other complaint?
I don't know. I can't think of it. It's mostly
It'll
just
come
the
back
90s
to you
diet
in the
culture
middle of the
stuff.
night.
That's mostly it. It probably was very minor.
Jackie?
I'm really sorry because I don't have nostalgia for it.
Oh, you already like this can't be
You can't get any lower.
it like
rating, so
we're
there's
over
no-
it. So you don't have to scoot
fine.
around about it. It's fine.
So I did text message my friend group. I knew not to text message Danielle because I needed her reactions to be authentic.
Yeah.
And I said, I have a confession. I'm struggling to get through Romy and Michele. And then they all revolted against me.
Yeah.
And then I said, small chuckle when she said, I hope all your babies look like monkeys.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a 2-day. Like, I do enjoy the dance scene. So I'll watch that. But
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Danielle?
Look, for this particular one, I'm not upset that you don't like it. It's just like the people who get it.
Yeah.
And that's it.
It's
Like
fine.
that's fine.
It's fine.
But it is a would buy. I own it, so
We all have our
well,
thing.
yes. I don't know how to remove the nostalgia for this for me,
Yeah,
so
exactly. That's
it is what it is. But it does hold up, I think, pretty well considering. Does it make me like die laughing that like it did when I was younger? Not as much,
no.
but still pretty good.
It was still a fun watch, and I was glad I watched it again the other night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, if you have opinions on Romy and Michelle, hit us up at our quick drop 909-601-6653. Twat us at the Twitters, have us at the Threads, Butterfly in the Sky at Blue Sky, and you could be featured on a future episode.
And don't miss next week as we continue Galentine's month with Waiting to Exhale.
Absolutely. And to our favorite Galentine, Gwen, thank you for joining
stop
us.
it. I always have such a good time, and you make me rewatch things that I hadn't seen in a long time. It's always a
Yay.
party.
I wrote you a poem, Gwen.
What?
Oh.
Gwen, you are the best. Better than the rest. Even though Jackie didn't pass the test.
I thought you were just going to say be kind, rewind.
You will always be welcome in this nest.
Aww. Tear. You two are adorable. Love you so. I love you so much.
We love you too.
So much.
Yeah.
When Ron was on for Mighty Ducks, he's like, I was so excited. I was like, oh, you guys really do love us.
We do. We're not kidding.
Well, as always, be kind and rewind.